I feel like as a kid, and I'm saying like most people in America, like don't fully understand where their food comes from. They don't even think about it. Once everyone knows where their food comes from, they're more likely to have a better appreciation for it and actually care about the people who grow it.
One of the most important things to understand about the Chicago food systems is that we used to feed our city primarily with food grown within the region. One of the problems we have is majority of food that's produced in Chicago is very small compared to all the food that's imported. What we're trying to do is address bigger questions around food insecurity, around wealth creation in communities and neighborhoods. And we're trying to bring the resources we have at DePaul to serve those communities in a way that increase their capacity to feed their communities and to feed the city. The questions we're addressing is, who are those producers? How can we bring some of the wealth of our food system into the hands of local growers? How can we improve access to fresh food in their neighborhoods overall? One of the most important things about producing food locally is the soil.
This is where the magic happens with soil. This is my portable X-ray fluorescence spectrometer. So this is going to send a beam of X-rays down into the soil. It's going to excite electrons. An X-ray beam is going to come back to a detector in here, and it's going to tell me half of the periodic table of elements, including lead. So I'll do a demonstration of that. The median concentration of lead should be between about 1,100 and 1,400 parts per million. We have had samples collected from Chicago residential properties as high as 6,500 parts per million. Most major cities in the American Rust Belt have a legacy of heavy industry that left behind in the soil a cocktail of heavy metals, including things like lead. By measuring and mapping spatial patterns of lead, it gives us a better understanding of where areas are of really high lead contamination. And this is a big deal with the proliferation of urban gardening. My students who have to do a research project, actually, they choose which community areas they want to collect soil samples from. They will go out and they will collect them, they bring them back into my lab, and then we scan them for lead. They write a very comprehensive report that is sent to the community organization with not only the data and the results, but also recommendations on how they might improve the health of their soil. The seed of this project began with one of my students who needed a thesis project to work on. And he said, I've always wondered what's in urban soil, what kinds of contaminants. So here's an example of a project that began with a student asking a question. It doesn't get any better than that.
So this is greenhouse number 1 of 2 here in McGowan South. For this greenhouse, usually we do it more for student activities. So DePaul Urban Gardeners, a student-led organization on campus focusing on food safety, food justice, and urban growing. All the main goal of getting residents of Chicago food that was grown here, which is very helpful for the food system. The fact that DePaul is able to provide students, staff, faculty, everyone an opportunity to get involved and make a change, I think is super, super important. This is our green roof top garden. As you can see here, we have a lot of towering, really tall wildflower plants. These are all native to Illinois. This is all a student-led, student-focused effort. If you're up here most of the time, you can see bees, different sort of butterflies, everything just comes up here to live. It's there's not a lot of spaces in the city where you can actually get a huge focus on native plants to Illinois, but this is a space where students are coming together to really pioneer a space where the focus is Chicago, and the focus is what lives here.
Howard's work and my work are all grounded in environmental justice, and that definitely resonates with the mission of DePaul. When you look at the lives of St. Vincent de Paul and his colleague Louise de Marillac, they were growing food to feed the poor. Now, I don't know that St. Vincent wrote anything about soil, but If we're going to have a sustainable society, you have to have sustainable food. And in order to have sustainable food, you have to have sustainable soil.